Bhagavan is sleeping, now he takes rest. All the demigods also sleeping. So he said that when the sun now goes to southwards, then he said at that time, that's like night time of the demigods. When it's going northward, that's like the daytime. So therefore, nighttime, they're sleeping this time. And therefore, during this time, really, like all these pious activities, like in Karmakanda, all this doing yajna, doing all this like marriage ceremony and all these things, where they invite demigods for blessings, like they won't be there, so therefore, no need to do these things on this time. Also, we can hear, we read also in Chaitanya Bhagavat, that many of these people would criticize also Vaishnavas during this time of Chaturmasya time, when devotees are doing kirtan. Like, why are you making all this noise? You're going to disturb Bhagavan, like this. So, good to understand what is also the deep meaning of when we say Bhagavan is resting. So, for one, here in this material world, there's this concept of rest in relation to when someone is tired and he needs to take rest. Body needs to take rest. And so, when we talk about Bhagavan resting, really we think, like, can Bhagavan be tired? Those who, without, like, for example, Brishbasis, then they can say. But for the general, like, people, then it would be considered like a mundane understanding, how Bhagavan can be tired. He's the source of all power. Now, and really, when we say sleeping, that is an activity of someone in the mode of ignorance. Like, Bhagavan is completely in Shuddha Sattva. There's no this ignorance. We see Vishnu is lying down in the coastal ocean. And said he's absorbed in yoga nidra. But this is not like sleeping out of ignorance. In that, like yoga nidra, he's actually engaged in so many like absorption in all his different activities, like in all the different manifested universes. But ultimately, when we say his actual resting place, then we get some understanding. Like when we pray to the Vaishnavas, Evaro Karuna Kuru Vaishnava Prasad. Oh, Vaishnava Thakur, be merciful to me. And in one verse there it said, Tumara Ridoya Sada Govinda Vishram. Govinda Kohena Mama Vaishnava Param. He's saying that in your heart is always the resting place of Govinda. Govinda himself is telling, the Vaishnava is my pran, my life and soul. So, here we can understand somehow like a deeper meaning would be this time when starting from this Shayana Ekadashi, this marks like a remembrance for all of us. And that's why many Vaishnavas, they begin today their Chaturmasya Vrata. Some, and many also, they start from Purnima, but some they already start from today. And taking that reminder that we want our heart to be resting place of Govinda, of Bhagavan. Just like this whole Rath-yatra festival is, what's it all about? Prabhu is showing to us the deep meaning of this Rath-yatra. Jagannath's real abode is Vrindavan. And he can live he can leave everything to go to the Brijbasis, to go to Vrindavan. And Mahaprabhu himself, after Jagannath reached Gudicha, he stayed there in that place in Gudicha, in the flower gardens, and absorbed in Vrindavan Lila. And finally, today, the culmination of this Rath Yatra, now today, yesterday returned, and today, Jagannath now is in Sona base. This is also something very deep. It's like after the culmination of this Rath Yatra festival, where now Jagannath has returned to Braj and again enjoying meeting of the Brijbasis. Now he's now have his complete form, and actually now manifest his golden form, like absorb also like golden. What is that? Golden. That is the color of Srimati Radharani. So in a way, somehow giving us a glimpse. Identity of Mahaprabhu, the golden Krishna absorbing Srimati Radharani. That is the complete manifestation of Bhagavan. So now Jagannath, today, only one day, only today. Now Jagannath has arms. He has arms and he appeared golden. Only today. Then tomorrow he goes back inside the temple. But then he said after that, what happens? Then it's like vacation time. He's like no more no pastimes with Lakshmi. Why? Because within this coming days, all these Braj festivals are coming. From Julan Yatra, there's Baladev Purnima, then Janmastami, Radhastami, all the way to Kartik. So it's actually like, that's why they say, now Sayan, or like in the pastimes of Jagannath, he's now resting from his role like, maintainer of everyone. But now he's going to go back to Braj. And in a way, like in Gopal Champu, we hear, when Krishna returned to Braj, said one Krishna stayed in Braj, and another one like returned to Dwarka. So this is only like a trick, but the original Krishna now staying in Dwarka. So here is like, he said, some Vaishnavas also explained that all the Brijbasis now coming to Sri Mandir, bringing Jagannath, but then they're making arrangement like, don't worry, we'll wait for you. You go inside, pretend that you're coming back there, but really now we all are staying in Braj and celebrate all the festivals in Braj. So here we're getting a glimpse of where is the heart of the Supreme Lord. That is in the heart of the Vaishnavas, the heart especially of the Brijbasis. So starting from this Shayana Ekadashi, then we're given a remembrance and inspiration that we want our heart also, as conditioned souls, we want our heart to be clean and become a resting place of Krishna. And therefore, Vaishnavas and the Shastras and Krishna himself very mercifully inducing us to engage in this brata. This brata, we call that Chaturmasya brata. It begins with all this, mainly like controlling, externally is there controlling your eating, controlling your sleeping, and like any other brata, like Ekadashi brata, also controlling eating, like not eating grains. But in Chaturmasya, there's all these regulations. On the first month, not eating leafy vegetables. Second month, not taking yogurt. Third month, milk, or the other way around. And fourth month, like mustard seed and others. So this these things, we have to understand though, that all this is not just simply for performing austerities. It's ultimately making ourselves become qualified to be like the Brijvasis. As again, we have to remind ourselves that in Bhakti Marg, all these rules are there. And of course, we have to, like especially for conditioned jivas, we have to follow rules and regulation. Like today, Ekadashi, we try to follow all these rules and regulation, like not eating grains and not like as much as possible, not wasting time in sleeping, and only doing kirtan, like this. But ultimately, we have to understand that the ultimate rule is to remember Krishna, not to forget. And all these, whatever rules there is, are there, they're servant to this main rule. So this is one thing I'm trying to reflect now, that in our life, there's many, sometimes hard situations, like many difficulties. And we can see, Vaishnavas always remind us, that the measurement of our advancement, or like how far we have accumulated this bhakti path, or we have gone through this bhakti path, is being able to see Krishna in all time. Coming to that point that how much am I being like able to see in my situation, in all situations, to see Krishna is there, or this is for Krishna. Like usually when we have difficulty, then there's always this desire, like I want to change just the environment. Oh, it's better if this is this. Oh, we try to blame something like, oh, it's because of him. If he's not there, or whatever it is. Oh, my body is the cause of my suffering, like this. And oh, if only this will change, then it's better, like this. And sometimes we follow also all these different like regulations for that to change, like whenever we see all these difficulties. But then I'm realizing, like, no, the more you advance in bhakti, and this we can see from the life of Vaishnavas, and especially like in great devotees that we can read about, that in whatever situation they are, they're not hoping for, the thing is, it's not like, oh, they want to change the situation, but it's only, now they see everything in relation to Krishna. Like when the Pandavas are suffering, then they see, oh, this is mercy of Krishna. They even, Kunti even praying, like, oh, let me suffer all the time, then I'll be remembering all the time Krishna. So, therefore, while we're not in this situation that we're always reminded, or always thinking or absorbed in Krishna, then we're making it so that we're following all these activities to help us remember Krishna. But when these activities make us forget Krishna, because we're just there for following the rules, then this will become like niyamagraha. So anyhow, today very auspicious time, Shayana Ekadashi. This is like a reminder for us that our heart can be a resting place of Bhagavan. And therefore, we aspire to be able to do all these favorable things. We aspire to become surrendered devotees, and therefore he can come. And in this way, we can really become qualified servants of him. And so, while in this time, Krishna is enjoying his Braj Lila, like Jagannath enjoying his Braj Lila, then we can really be a part of that Lila as well. So, today, this is our prayer. And today also is the appearance day, there's a puja of Bhakti Vigyan Bharati Goswami Maharaj. So he is example of Vaishnava whose heart is a resting place of Bhagavan. And because of that, he provides shelter for many jivas. We know so many devotees come to him. Even before the devotees come to him, I know, staying with Prabhuji, with the Vaishnavas, we would visit him sometimes. Wherever we go, when we come to Puri, then sometimes we would visit to him. And this is one thing I appreciate so much from him, is that from him we can learn so many things about like history of the Gaudiya Math and also the glories of the different disciples of Srila Prabhupada. So he has given many valuable classes, and this has nourished many devotees. So today also we offer our humble obeisances and prayers unto this great personality.
Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Gurave Yogachandraya Radhikaya Tadadaya Krishnaya Krishnabhaktaya Bhaktaya Namaha. Vandeham Shri Guru Varam Shri Rupam Prabham Rajrasvasim Sharanam Tam Pannam Shri Guru Charanam Vande Namanapesaya Bhutale Rupanuranga Bhaktinam Sharipam Bhaktinam. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Shri Gaur Bhakta Jai Rup Sanatan Bhattacharya Shri Gopal Bhattacharya Sarna Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram. Just power of my Shasanga Dharma Purana, so that will speak for spiritual masters. Vaishnav Bhakti Shri Ram Goswami Maharaj Shuddhadev and Vaishnav Bhakti Shri Ram Goswami Maharaj Shuddhadev. And I will find body the word to all Vaishnavas, Vaishnavis, Bhaktis, Ekadashi myself, and to Nitlai Shivam Bhakti Vigyan Bharati Goswami Maharaj, is Avirbhav Tithi we are observing today. Also it is the Avirbhav Tithi on Nitlai Shivan Bhakti Kankan Tapasvi Goswami Maharaj. This is Avirbhav Tithi also today. Today I was doing Parikrama, then I met one disciple, Bhaktivilas Tirtha Goswami Maharaj. He told me, today is the appearance of Bhakti Kankan Tapasvi Goswami Maharaj. So Tapasvi Maharaj, he was called Atulananda Prabhu before. And he was a very intimate sevak of Prabhupada. It is said that when he was staying in Allahabad, and Abhay Babu, Abhay Chanaravinda Prabhu, he used to serve the temple there, this Rupa Gaudiya Math. Prabhupada established Rupa Gaudiya Math in Prayag, and Mahaprabhu gave Rupa Siksha, and he established Sanatan Gaudiya Math in Varanasi, and Mahaprabhu gave Sanatan Siksha. So there it is said that Atulananda Prabhu, he would always go along with Jajavad Maharaj and the others to Sai Maharaj's house. And Sai Maharaj would very respectfully receive them. In fact, later in his conversations also, Sai Maharaj, in one of his conversations with Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj, there Sai Maharaj is actually recalling how Atulananda Prabhu would come to my house and how I would receive him, would collect Piksha on every Ekadashi. And they said that even the deities there in Rupa Gaudiya Math, Sai Maharaj is sponsored for them, the deities there. And it is said that when Prabhupada came in 1933, then Atulananda Prabhu, he told Prabhupada about Sai Maharaj, saying, Abhay Babu is helping us so much. And Prabhupada said, yes, I know. And then on that same year, he gave initiation to Sai Maharaj. And then this way, his services to the Gaudiya Math increased all the more. So he was like a Bhakta Pradarshak Guru of Srila Sai Maharaj, Bhakti Kankan Tapasvi Maharaj. Today is Avirbhav Tithi. Also, like we just heard, the other Bhakti of Bhakti Maharaj, who was actually the Sevak of Param Gurudev for 6 months, maybe even 1 year or something. He would take dictations from Param Gurudev because Aulwani Maharaj had Param Gurudev had filed a court case against his own older brother, Aulwani Maharaj. Once Param Gurudev and Aulwani Maharaj, they met in Mayapur, Yogpit, after 19 years. 19 years they had not seen each other. Imagine, they were like, they were born from the same womb, but still, Param Gurudev, he didn't care for any such relationship. 19 years afterwards, he saw Aulwani Maharaj, and there they had a very nice meeting actually. Like Aulwani Maharaj and Param Gurudev, they offered pranams to each other, and Param Gurudev, he told Aulwani Maharaj, never give up this mission of Prabhupada. Always preach this mission of Prabhupada more and more, never give it up. And Aulwani Maharaj, he also, whenever he will pass through Devananda Gaudiya, he will offer Shashtanga Dharma to the temple there. So then, Param Gurudev in class, he said that although we were so near to each other, we were standing in front of each other, still you must know we were like miles apart, he said. Miles and miles apart. It was about his own older brother, Param Gurudev. If you read one of the old Bhagavad Patrikas, if you really want to know the meaning of old is gold, they say, no, old is gold. If you really want to realize something of that in your life, you have to read some of the old Bhagavad Patikas. Then you'll realize what is old. Old is gold, you'll realize then. Or purity in those magazines, just like purity. Every syllable of those magazines, they're so special there. Gurudev himself, he did the entire editing of that magazine. The entire publication of the Bhagavad Patrika, Gurudev he oversaw. The ones that were published from 1955 to 1974. Then after that, other devotees started doing Gurudev, he would just do some editing and he would just read. So in one of those magazines, this is mentioned there, the meeting between Aulwani Maharaj and Param Gurudev. So here, Param Gurudev, when he filed the court case against Aulwani Maharaj, he'd always give to Pujyapad Bhakti Maharaj, and Bhakti Maharaj he'd go to Sridhar Maharaj. And he would make some notes and he'd go there. So we know the history that when Param Gurudev filed the court case, then he was about to win actually. Then overnight, Aulwani Maharaj, he gave sannyas to many and he gave saffron cloth. At that time, even Mahamantra wasn't being chanted loudly. It was being chanted very silently. Then all of a sudden, all the devotees in the Gaudiya mission, they started chanting Mahamantra loudly. And many changes happened. Deities of Prabhupada everywhere. So then Param Gurudev actually lost the case. So then Pujyapad Bhakti Maharaj, he asked Param Gurudev, did you actually lose the case? He said, no, I actually won the case. My very intention was that they follow Prabhupada. That was my only intention. I don't care about those bricks, about all those properties. I only want them to follow Prabhupada. And in this way, you see, even now, because of Param Gurudev's inspiration, this Gaudiya mission of Aulwani Maharaj is flourishing so much now actually. It's flourishing so much now. Now you see that preaching is everywhere now. Gaudiya mission is preaching. Everywhere they're preaching, and even devotees from our own Sangha are going to their programs. And why? Because even they're now, even Prabhupada is now the focus of their lives now in Gaudiya mission. And they're having programs everywhere and so very full-fledged preaching. So actually they owe it to Param Gurudev in one way. Because Param Gurudev was the one who started this whole thing there. And he said, Bhakti Maharaj, he personally witnessed it. Like we heard, he served many disciples of Prabhupada, like Param Gurudev and Nemi Maharaj, Bhakti Maharaj, Sridhar Maharaj, Ekadashi Maharaj, his own Guru Maharaj, Madhav Maharaj. Also a very intimate relationship with Srila Gurudev. So today is his other Bhakti theme. And also Tapasya Maharaj is other Bhakti theme. Also we hear today Shayana Ekadashi. So we hear that beginning from Gundicha Mandir Marjan, what happens? We clean our hearts of all these different anarthas, like kutinati, hypocrisy, rag, dvesh. Rag is attachment, dvesh, hatred, asmita, is egotism, me and mine. Rag, dvesh, asmita, abhinivesh, absorbed in all these bad things. And they say avidya, ignorance, And Sukritita, Duskritita, Sarvbrahma, Satrishna, there's so many kinds of anarthas Mahaprabhu is cleansing your heart. And then after Gundicha Mandir Marjan, this Rath Yatra takes place. So we hear that when Jagannath actually during his Pavanbi Vijay, why is he trembling so much in ecstasy as he's going up the chariot? What is the reason? It's because he's so absorbed in Radha Prem. That is the reason. He's so intoxicated by tasting this Radha Prem that he cannot even stand still. Therefore, Daitapatis have to hold him from behind and have to make him sit on the chariot. This Radha Prem is driving him mad. And then we hear that this whole Rath Yatra takes place, they come to Gundicha Mandir. So what is this Gundicha Mandir? Is actually, like we heard this explanation, not different from Barsana. So there we hear that Vishabhanu Maharaj, Chandrabhanu, Subhanu, Kirtida, Mukhara, all the family members and everyone, they're cleaning this entire place in Barsana and they're making everything ready for Krishna. And it's said that when Krishna stays here for 9 days, he spends 1 day each in every kunja of each of the Astasakis. Spends every night in the kunja of each of the Astasakis and also Radharani. 9 days he spends there. And there it is said that Radharani herself is feeding Krishna, and sometimes when Radharani is feeding Krishna, this parrot Sukha comes there. And Madhumangali starts shouting on, just look at this prasadam, who has eaten this prasadam? No one's ever eaten anything his entire life. And Krishna is telling Madhumangali, don't, why are you making so much noise? Calm down. But still he's shouting so much. Then this parrot comes, Sukha. And this parrot says, hey, don't make so much noise. Calm down. Honor Mahaprasad very silently. Nanda Baba, everyone are here. And then Madhumangali starts honoring Mahaprasad. And then after Krishna spends all these days in Barsana, and he goes back to Nandagaon. This is the meaning of this Rath Yatra, return Rath Yatra. That he's come from Nandagaon to Barsana because Vishabhanu Maharaj, he requested Nanda Baba, please come and stay here. For 6 months, as much as you want. Nanda said no. If you stay here for 6 months, then we'll become yours. We'll become conquered. We'll be conquered by the love and affection. So we'll go back after like 7, 9 days. And then they go back to Nandagaon. And then also, Jatila and Kutila, they were very worried. They were thinking that this Krishna is always disturbing Radha. So they were thinking, alright, all of us will go to Mathura. We'll leave Braj, we'll go and stay there in Mathura, in Kansa's kingdom. So then, Vishabhanu Maharaj, he sends so many gifts to Jatila and he says, please send, he won't even say my daughter. He'll say, please send your daughter-in-law to my house for 9 days. And she sends so many gifts to Jatila. And Jatila and Kutila, they send Radharani there for 9 days. And then they're so happy with all these gifts that they tell Vishabhanu Maharaj, every year we'll send Radharani from Java to Barsana, and she can stay there for 9 days. This is the meaning of the Rath Yatra there. 9 days Radharani is making all the kunjas ready for Jagannath there. He's coming in. Then he's going back on the return Rath Yatra. So this way we see that next comes Hera Panchami. And in Hera Panchami we see that the emphasis is given more on jewels. But what kind of jewels? These jewels of bhav, not on gold, silver, anything. Like we hear, there's Hav, Bhav, Hela. In Ujjal Neenamani, these bhavs have been described. Hav, Bhav, Hela. Then we hear, what is this Hav? What is Sapto? Sapto means the first time a gopi sees Krishna, she doesn't feel any transformation. This is called Sapto. So this appears before Vayosandhi. Because at the stage of Vayosandhi, there is Vyakta Yauvan. Vyakta Yauvan means now our youthfulness is gradually being expressed in Vayosandhi. So then when Hav takes place, then when the gopi sees Krishna, then some transformation takes place. Like the example is given that once one girl from Hastinapur, when she saw Krishna, she started experiencing so much transformation in her heart. Then her Saki said that when you were in Khandavan, when Indra came there, all the demigods came there, you didn't feel any transformation. But why are you seeing Krishna now and experiencing this transformation? Why? Because now she has achieved Vayosandhi. And now she is experiencing this bhav. And what is Hela? Hela means now the transformation that she is experiencing in her heart by seeing Krishna, gradually the symptoms are being seen. So this is the meaning of Hera Panchami. All these jewel-like bhavs are being discussed between Mahaprabhu and Tamalu, Samilu is giving us the essence there. And in this way, now we see the Shayana Ekadashi has come. And what is the meaning of the Shayana Ekadashi? Like we just heard now, Vishnu Bhagavan is taking rest. This is actually only a pretext. He's taking rest. Why? So that now people, they can start doing this karma, jnana, yoga, tapasya, and then fully dedicate themselves to pure bhakti. Like this Adhik Mas. What is the meaning of Adhik Mas? Means now give up all karma, jnana, tapasya, now engage in pure bhakti. So similarly here, Bhagavan is saying now give shine to all these different karma, jnana, tapa. Become absorbed in pure bhakti. And we see like this 4 months of Chaturmasya, Bhagavan goes to Braj. And there are all these different leelas like Julam Leela, Julam, so Radhastami, Baldev Purnima, Janmastami. So many different leelas, Kartik. When Kartik is like all different kinds of leelas take place there. Chakravarti Leela itself, Ras Leela, Lukluki Leela, so many different kinds of leela. There's Vana Brahman, Pushpa Shayan, and so many different kinds of leelas take place during this time. So Shayan is the beginning. Also today is the beginning of Chaturmasya for many Vaishnavas. They start from today also. So this way we see that this Ekadashi, it gives us a chance to purify ourselves and realize the importance of this Naam of Krishna. Like Gurudev, he always speaks one history regarding the glories of the holy name. Once, the demigods, the demons, and the human beings were fighting among the 1 lakh shlokas of Valmiki Ramayana. So they went to Shivji, that you be the mediator and you help us. And Shivji said, all right, I'll divide all these 1 lakh shlokas of Valmiki Ramayana among the 3 of you. So he gave them 33,000, 33,000, 33,000. So then how many shlokas remained? 1,000 shlokas. And he said, all right, I'll give you 333, 333, 333. Then how many shloka? 1 shloka remained. And that 1 shloka had 10 parts. So again he gave 3, 3, 3. And then only 2 syllables remained. What was that? Ra, Ma. And Shivji said, this I'm keeping with myself, this I'm not giving. Other things you can take, he said. This Rama he kept in his heart, this Rama. So this way we see that our Guru Varga, by tithis like such as this Ekadashi, they're telling us to make a platform to receive this Ram Nam, Krishna Nam in our hearts. To purify ourselves of our anarthas. Like we see yesterday was the appearance day, disappearance of Bhakti Kamal Madhusudan Maharaj. When he had this discussion with Gurudev, Gurudev also, he was so attracted to Ram Nam. And he convinced Gurudev that Ram Nam is Tarak Nam, Krishna is Parak Nam. Means it can give you even more than Mukti, it can give you brain. And we see they are teaching us how to be an ideal sevak. Like we see like one of these old patrikas there, Pujyapad Bhakti Shauti Maharaj, in one article there, he has said there are 6 types of Adam Sevaks, Adam Guru Sevaks. Who are they? First is the Ali Sevak. The Ali Sevak means he is like a bee, a bumblebee. What does a bumblebee do? It keeps humming, buzzing. In Hindi it's called Gungunahat. So here this Ali Sevak, what does he do? When he receives any order from Guru, within his heart he keeps thinking, I'll do, but he doesn't do. This is called Ali Sevak. And the next is called the Jyotishi Sevak. The Jyotishi Sevak, what does he do? When Guru gives an order to him, he says, alright, I'll do in the future. I won't do now, sometime I'll send. It's called the Jyotishi Sevak. And the next Sevak is called the Ban Sevak. So the Ban Sevak, what does he do? He's like an arrow. Once the arrow is released, it will go, it will never come back. So this Sevak is also like that. Once he go, he'll never come back. And the other Sevak is called the Stapti Bhut Sevak. The Stapti Bhut Sevak means once he receives order from Guru, he'll just stay in one place. He won't do anything after that. He's stunned. He's in silence. And the next Sevak is called Kim Ekaki Sevak. Kim Ekaki, if you break it down in Sanskrit, it means how can I do this alone? Kim Ekaki. I need someone else to help me also. Alone I cannot do all these things. You give me someone else to help me also. It's called the Kim Ekaki Sevak. And the last time Adam Guru Sevak is called the Preshit Preshat Sevak. Preshit Preshat Sevak means what does he do? If Guru gives him an order, he inspires someone else to do it, rather than he himself doing it. These are the 6 kinds of Adam Sevaks. So therefore, Guru Varga telling us to, rather than being categorized in one of these 6 classifications, try to be an ideal Guru Sevak. And these things, they give us that chance. How to glorify, how to have this Divya Saraswati in our lives. No. Like we see when Indra, he abused Krishna, he used 6 words to abuse Krishna. He said Krishna is Vachal. And he is Balish. So Saraswati Devi, what did she say? When Indra called Krishna Vachal, Saraswati Devi, she said actually what is the meaning of Vachal? Not talkative. Vachal means from whom all the Shastras are coming. And Balish means what? Balish does not mean foolish. It means he who is like a boy. A boy does not have any ego, any arrogance. He is called Balish. And then Indra called him Agya, very ignorant. And Saraswati Devi, she changed that to Agya means there is no one more knowledgeable than him. Therefore he is Agya. And then he is called Stapta. Indra said is Krishna is Stapta. Stapta means he doesn't offer pronouns to anyone. So Saraswati Devi said yes, he doesn't offer pronouns to anyone because he is Purushottam. There is no one greater than him. And then he is Pandit Abhimani. You see that shloka there, the Mool shloka in the Bhagavatam you can see. Pandit Abhimani means what? Saraswati Devi, she gave the interpretation that anyone who has this mood of being a Pandit, ran a scholar, that person actually has realization of all the Shastras. Even for that person his Ishtadev is Krishna. And then Indra called Krishna Martya. Martya means he is bound to die. But here Saraswati Devi said Martya means what? Krishna out of his sweet will he descended in this Martyaloka, out of his Bhakta Vatsalya. And he said Jarasandha also he called Krishna Purusha Adham. Purusha Adham he said. But what is the meaning of Purusha Adham here? He said means he is the only Purush and all the others are Adam. He is Purushottam. Then Jarasandha called him Bandhu Han, means he who kills his own relatives like Kansa. So here Bandhu Han means what? Hanan Karna. Bandhu means one who is so much absorbed in Maya. Maya is the Bandhu here. So what does Krishna do? He cuts this attachment of Maya. So therefore it's called Bandhu Han. So to say all these, what I mean to say is that there are so many explanations in the Shastras that cannot be understood by our own selves. They can only be understood under the guidance of the Vaishnavas. And like these 6 kinds of sevaks, you have to transcend these 6 kinds of Adam sevaks and become an ideal Guru seva. Like we see, like the Vaishnavas have previously spoken on this occasion, that there was a Gurukul and some Gurukuli boys, what would they do? Every day they would offer kheer. They would make kheer and they were like these Adam sevaks. And Guru would offer this kheer to Lakshmi and Lakshmi would offer to Narayan. And every day Lakshmi would give the remnants of this kheer to Guru. And then there would be nothing left, there would be very less. Because Vishnu would take everything, he was so pleased with that offering. So what did these Adam sevaks do? They would give half that kheer and they dug a hole and they covered the other part of that kheer. Then one day Lakshmi Devi didn't appear there with any remnants. And the Guru said, what have I done? What offense have I done? Then he went in his dhyan, in his meditation, there he saw what his brahmacharis had done. And he said, hey, all of you are such nonsense people, such Adam sevaks. Where have you hid the key? He said. Then we said, we hid the key underneath there. Why did you do this? Because you are not giving us any remnants. Every day we are suffering, we are so hungry. And Vishnu himself appeared and he said, don't do this. Don't think that I am not actually nourishing you. I am nourishing you in an unseen way, actually. Like we see, in the same occasion, another history there, Vaishnava has spoken, that there are 2 brothers, Ilal and Patapa. So these 2 brothers, what would they do? They would invite all the sadhus, they would have many fruits, and what would they do? They would feed all these fruits to the sadhus. And once the sadhus had eaten all these fruits, then immediately the elder brother would call out to his younger brother, and the younger brother would burst out of the stomach of all these sadhus, and he would eat them. And once they would call Agastya Rishi, but Agastya Rishi somehow he offered everything to Ram and he was protected. And these 2 brothers, they were killed. So this Chaturmasya is showing us that if you eat anything and everything, whatever you see, what will happen? Then whatever will come, fatkar aayega fir baad mein. Whatever will come outside, will burst out, will come out like an explosion. Like Ilal and Patapa. So therefore be very careful. This Chaturmasya is teaching us. Only order Bhagavad Mamsa, nothing else. It's the beginning of Chaturmasya. So anyhow, these things are giving us a golden opportunity to be steadfast in our adherence to this path of Krishna consciousness.
ज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। पञ्चाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमः महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमपदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्यनाम्ने गौरतिसे नमः। जय रूपा सनातन भट्ट रघुनाथ श्री गोपाल भट्ट दास रघुनाथ जय गोसाई करी चरण बंदन जावे ते विघ्ननाश अभीष्ट पुराण। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य दयाल प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि श्री गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। बोलो श्री गुरु महाराज की जय, गुरु परंपरा की जय, अनंत अनंत गुरु वैष्णव वृंद की जय, सपार सद्गुरुवर की जय, गौर नित्यानंद प्रभु की जय, जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा संजीव की जय, जय भक्ति विनाश गणेशदेव की जय, भक्तराज प्रहलाद महाराज की जय, सर्व अभिष्ट प्रदा गिरिराज गोवर्धन जीव की जय, गोविंद गोपीनाथ मदन मोहन जीव की जय, जय शरण एकादशी की जय, स्वामी गौर भक्त वृंद की जय, गौर प्रेमानंदे। अभी हम लोग
about the glories of we've been listening some glories from the devotees. So now the remnants take the glorifying the Vaishnavas is the cause of one's deliverance. So now I will try to glorify and remember the Shayana Ekadashi. What our Guru Varga have said, what has been said in the Shastras, what our Acharyas have said, who can follow Sthiti. The Bhattaji, conditioned soul, has forgot everything because of this effect of Kali. He's forgotten what has happened yesterday, and whatever he's seen in his sleep, that also he has forgotten. And what he has forgotten, just now he has forgotten, is the influence of Kali. Shuddha Bhakti Marga Iha Kantaka Koti Ruta. No matter how much he's trying, still Saiti Miri. Then he can remember if he's really near Guru Vaishnavas. Or else he'll only remember the things of Maya. He'll remember many phone numbers. He'll never forget if someone shouts at him. He'll never forget what someone else has said. With this Bhagavad Vani, this Shuddha Bhakti, this he'll forget. He'll never remember any of these things. All the other things of this world, what was spoken in Harikatha yesterday, they won't remember anything. What Katha was spoken 1 year before, oh, I don't remember.
But someone has slapped him, this he'll never forget even for 10 lifetimes. Someone has abused him, he'll file court case then. And so many things he is ready to do. But for one who is following this Shuddha Bhakti Marga, this is very difficult for him to remember this line of pure devotion. Today you see this Ekadashi, it's called Shayana Ekadashi. We did Kirtan of this Ekadashi in the previous years. Hari is thinking, today I will rest. Saying, where will I rest? Where will I go? I only stay in the hearts of the yogi. I don't stay in Vaikuntha nor in the hearts of the yogis. I only stay in that place where my glories are sung. Nor do I go in yogis hridayas, nor do I go in Vaikuntha. Because there also I don't have time or place to rest. Then where do I rest? Vaishnava Hridaya Sada Govinda Vishram Govinda Kahena Mama Vaishnava Param. Bhagavan, he says in the Gita that Arjuna, I am always in the hearts of the conditioned souls, and they are seated on this body, which is like an object made of Maya, like a material, like a machine. Saying, Arjuna, I am in the hearts of all, but you see, what do they do? They have made me leave. The heart is meant only for me. But what do? There's no place for me there. Sometimes you make a girl makes a very nice boy rest in her heart. A boy makes a very nice girl rest in his heart. Their own lovers, but they don't have place for Bhagavan in their hearts. So Bhagavan is thinking, where do I rest? Saying, I don't stay in Vaikuntha. And where do you stay? He's staying in the hearts of the yogis. I'm not even staying there. I don't stay in the hearts of the yogis. Then where do you stay? Madbhakta yatra gayanti. Wherever the bhaktas, if they give a place for me in my heart, if they glorify me, then I stay there. Not anyone else. Except for me, they don't know anyone else. Sadhu hridayamam sadham hridayantam. The sadhus are my heart, and I am the heart of the sadhus. The sadhus, they don't know anyone except me, and I also don't know anyone except them, the sadhus. Therefore, Bhagavan, he says, I want to rest in the heart of the bhakta, in the hearts of people. But they're so restless, they don't give a place for me, anyone in their hearts. Because you see, if you can cook khichdi, what will happen? Then you see dal, chawal, everything is mixed, everything becomes salwa. When you see everything becomes one then, khichdi. So where will I rest? So rest in a peaceful area where there's so much peace, tranquility. Bhagavan also says, if I want parashanti, then I'll go to the bhaktas. Because the bhaktas, they don't give place for anyone else in their hearts. They know that I've come for 2 days in this place, like a dharmashala, like a refugee. When you make friendship with someone for 2-3 days, when after 2-3 days, you see, you go your own ways. So this is not a place of permanent relationships. So in such, the hearts of such people, Prabhu says, how can I stay there? Very restless. So Bhagavan says, I'll go in that place where Ekadashi Devi, she says, it's called Shayana Ekadashi. It doesn't mean Bhagavan is closing his eyes and he's sleeping. So what is the use for us if he's resting? We are following Ekadashi. name is Shayana Ekadashi, but you must know the meaning of it. What is the relationship with Bhagavan? They are shiny. What is the advantage for us? So where will he sleep? We'll make him rest in our hearts, but we are not so qualified to make him enter our hearts. That's why Ekadashi Devi, she says that you have become a servant of the senses. Whose mind is equipoised, intelligence is equipoised. Those engage the senses in the service of Indriyadipati. Everything they have offered in the service of Prabhu. Sarupadi vinirmuktam tatparapena nirmalam shikena rishikesha sevanam bhaktiruchyate. What are the symptoms of Uttam Bhakti? They asked Sukdev Goswami, and Sukdev Goswami said that those who have received these senses, this body, mind, words, working senses, knowledge acquiring senses, and this body made of these 5 material elements. And so this body is made of 24 elements. So after 2 days, you'll have to leave this body. But one who is intelligent, what will he do? Now, one who uses this gift completely in the service of Prabhu, then he is Prabhu's. Then Prabhu has a place there. Prabhu here is resting there. Or else they are restless themselves and they make Prabhu also restless. And they say, Prabhu, give us something. What should he give? Give us this yash, this there. Or give us some happiness, this there. Oh, give me, give me, give me. So where will they get the Shanti? So on this happiness space, then at least you be liberated yourself. Be free from these different forms of attachments, bandhan. What we do, we say, oh, then oh, alas, alas, I want more, I want more. What do you want more? What do you want collecting all these things? You'll have to leave this body behind, made of 5 different elements. You cannot take anything with you. Are you always calling out in pain for all these things? It's called Shayana Ekadashi. Ekadashi Devi, what does she do? I will make you separate from these my intelligence and all these senses and their objects. Follow this Chaturmasya. Make sankalpa to follow this Chaturmasya. It's my responsibility. I will make you transcendental and liberated. I will make this Avaranatmika and Vikshepatmikas fall asleep. They will not trouble you anymore. Your senses will no longer be restless. Arjuna himself, he says, oh Krishna, I can control the wind, but I cannot control the mind. So restless his mind is. I cannot control the mind. Sri Karshidi says, alright, don't take even 1 second. Come to follow Ekadashi, alright, now it is my responsibility. No, I'll make you separate from these senses. Now you fall asleep. No, don't trouble anyone. Because now you're troubled. Now Bhagavan doesn't have a place in your heart now because your senses are always disturbed. So let the senses fall asleep. Then you continue doing what you want. Then you can do Prabhu's seva. This way, mind, body, intelligence. Oh, these 4 things, make them separate. Like the Atma leaves the body, then the body will fall asleep. Do you understand this now? It's very simple to understand. If there is no soul, the body will just die. it will die eternally then, fall asleep eternally. You can burn the body or bury it or dissolve in water. That doesn't make any difference. Fallen asleep there.
तो आत्मा निकल गया तब
And when the body is
और
left, when the soul is
हम लोग
left,
क्या होगा चित्तों बिंदु साथ ले जाता है
but the mind, body,
ये
intelligence
नहीं
take it along
छूटता
with them.
एकादशी भी कहती
Because
है
the soul is still bound by the subtle
देख
body.
अब तेरे को मन बुद्धि अहंकार
So
चित्त
Ekadashi
से
says, now you see, I'll also make you separate from the
तुम्हें
subtle
आत्मा
body.
शरीर दे दूंगा
I'll give you this Atma Sharir,
अर्थात
transcendental
आत्मा का
body.
जो स्वरूप है आत्मा शरीर है उसके
I'll give you
द्वारा
this
तुम
Atma Sharir, Atma Swarup,
नित्यकाल प्रभु की सेवा में अपने को नियुक्त
so
कर
that you will
सको
always serve Prabhu eternally.
इसके लिए नियम है एकादशी के दिन में से आज से
Therefore, this Ekadashi day,
4 महीना
beginning from
चातुर्मास
today, for 4 months, Chaturmasya,
हमने सत्ययुग गया त्रेता गया
Satya,
द्वापर
Treta,
गया कलयुग
Dwapar,
गया चार
Kali,
युग गया
4 yugas have
चारों
passed.
युग में कभी भी हरि का आराधना नहीं
Still we haven't worshipped Hari.
किया तो
That's why we're still
दुनिया ले
conditioned.
लिया
Or else even
एक
if you
पैसा
worship
दिया
Hari,
तो
we
10
say,
पैसा मांग लिया
okay, I'm giving you 1 paisa and
शिक्षा
I'll
गुरु
give 10
जाके
paisa
बोले
back in return.
ओ भोलेनाथ मेरा पुत्र
And
दोनों
Shiv
बेटे हो
Thakur, he
गए
says, oh
तुमको
Bholenath,
मैं
you tell Shiv
बेलपत्ता
Thakur, oh Shivji,
और गंगा
if you
जल
help me
दूध
win the
चढ़ाता
court case, then I'll
हूँ और एक दूसरा
put some milk for
और
you
दूंगा
and some
एक बेल
datura
फल एक और दे
or
दूंगा
some bale fruit.
तो
Help me, help
काली
me.
मैया को नहीं कहेंगे
Go to
हे
Kali
काली
Devi,
मैया
oh Kali Maya.
यदि मेरा काम को करा देगी
If you do
और
what I
मेरा
want
मनोरथ पूरा कर
and
देगी
you fulfill
उसके
my
लिए मैं गाय
desires,
चढ़ा दूंगा
then I'll sacrifice one goat for you.
काली मैया कहती है तेरा काम करा दिया
And Kali Maya
और
says,
दे
alright, now give me the goat
तो ये
now.
बड़ा बहुत महंगा बकरा है
Oh, goat is very
तो क्या
expensive now.
देगा
Oh, can I sacrifice it?
मैं
Oh,
कहाँ से लाऊं बकरा
where can I
एक
bring a
गोट को
goat?
दे दूंगा
Okay, I'll offer a
तो
pigeon
बोले
to
अच्छा
pigeon.
कौन
Okay,
सा दे
all right, of pigeon. Offer a pigeon to me.
कबूतर कैसे
Oh,
पकड़ूं
how can I catch a
वो मिलता
pigeon?
नहीं
It's
कैसे
very
पता चले तो मैं थोड़ी
restless.
सी कीड़े
Okay, at least give me a small insect because at
अच्छा
least
बोले
there's a
कीड़ा दे
small entity
तो
there
कीड़ा
living in it.
बोले उसको पकड़
At
के
least
दो
just give me a moth, at least a moth
ऐसा
or
दुनिया
any
है
of these insects.
हाँ
So
भजन
this is
करेगा
called a
भजन करेगा
merchant. What will he
मैंने
do?
करा फल दो
Oh, I've done so much bhajan, give me this
दंड
fruit.
परिक्रमा करा
I've offered so
मैंने
many
एकादशी
dandavats.
करा
I've
मेरे
offered
को
so
फल
many
दो
ekadashis.
किंतु लेके
Give
कहाँ
me the
जाएगा
fruit.
जहन्नम में
But what will you do with this fruit?
हैं?
Will you
किधर
go to
जाएगा
hell?
तो
Where will
सब
you go?
होके और चीज लेके जाएगा कहाँ
Where will you go taking all
बांसुरी
these
का बल
things?
हो गया कहाँ
Because you're
जाएगा
becoming separate from Prabhu.
हैं? क्या
If the
करेगा
son is
उसके बाद
separate from
रहेगा
his
यहाँ
father, then where will he go then?
जब तक रहूंगा तब तक
Will he stay here
रहूंगा
forever?
किंतु भोग भी
Or
नहीं
like,
कर
no,
सकता
no, I'll
तो
stay here
नहीं
as
भी
much as
करना
I
मैं
want to and
नहीं
I'll
जाएगा
enjoy.
कुछ नहीं कर
But
सकता
still, how can you and how much
इससे
longer
देखो
can you enjoy
ब्रह्मांड
in this world?
ऐसे
Therefore,
मधुरा
don't
होकर
be so
बढ़ता है
foolish. Only one who's very foolish and mad, he'll
सीधे
be
सुख
absorbed
और विक्रमणा
in this world of duality.
होता है दुखे सुख और विक्रमणा
This way, by
सुखे सुख
miseries,
चतुष्प्रिया
he becomes
ईश्वर आत्मा
miserable
वैरोध
and he's
यदि
happy.
मुनुच्यते
But one who is not
इससे कोई
distressed by this
स्थिति नहीं है
happiness and
जो कि दुख से
sadness, he
सुख
is
से कोई
stitati.
मतलब नहीं
Means he's
शांति
equipoised.
से
He
शांति
doesn't
से
care
मतलब नहीं
about
ज्ञान
cold,
से भय
heat,
से सुख से कोई
summer,
मतलब नहीं
winter, happiness, suffering. He is
वो
always
बंधन से
equipoised.
मुक्त हो चुका
He is transcendental
ऐसे ही
to this
कौन
world
कर
of
सकता
duality.
है केवल एकादशी में
Only the Ekadashi
इसे
Devi can
कहते हैं
do
शयन
this.
एकादशी
It was called Shayana Ekadashi.
खिला दूंगा पिला दूंगा नहला दूंगा सुला दूंगा
Now I'll feed you
चुपचाप
nicely. I'll make you
एकादशी
fall
को
asleep.
सुलाइए माँ काम करती है आज का दौर
And
अच्छा हो गया
and
नहीं तो
nowadays
किसी
you
को मिला
see, as
होटल
long
में
as a
गए
baby is born, what
होटल
do?
में दारू लेके होटल में रखा
They
दिया
put some alcohol on the
और
lips
पिला
of the
दिया
baby,
बस हो गए
and the baby starts licking on this
बस
alcohol, and he falls asleep.
और धीरे धीरे आदत जो चिल्लाता है
And if
क्या
the
मम्मी
baby
को और
starts
पिलाते हैं
shouting more and more, they feed
बस
him more
बच्चा सो गया
alcohol, and then
और
he
जब तक
falls
धीरे
asleep
धीरे
then.
आदत हो गया
And
फिर लगा
then
दारू
that
पीने
boy, what does he become when he grows big? He becomes an
ये एकादशी
alcoholic.
ऐसे करती है कि सुला देंगे
But
ऐसे
will the
सुलाएंगे
Ekadashi Devi intoxicate one and put one
क्या
to
हो गया
sleep
ये
like this by giving daru?
ऐसे काम नहीं करती
She doesn't work in
ये
this way.
इंद्रियां चिरकाल मिलेगा
The
चाहे
senses will
कुछ में जाओ
always be
मनुष्य
there.
में जाओ चाहे हाथी में जाओ शेर में जाओ
Even if
चींटी में
you're
जाओ
in body of an
सब जगह मिलेगा
elephant,
इंद्रिय
any
बुद्धि से
form of
अलग
life,
कोई नहीं
you'll be
कर
bound by
सकता
these 5 elements. So who can
मिलेगा
separate
किसको
you
मिलेगा
from this material energy?
बुद्धि से अलग
You
कौन
cannot do
करेगा
by your own
बुद्धि
self.
से अलग
So Dev Shani,
हटा दिया इन लोगों को
she
सुला
will
दिया मुक्त कर दिया
make one
और
liberated,
पूजा उनका चित्त से भगवान के नित्य सेवा में
and
स्वरूप
she will
की
make one
करती
absorb in this Bhagavan's Nitya Seva.
सिद्ध प्रज्ञ बनाती
She will give this Sarup and make one Sthita Pragya.
ये किसी और की बस की बात नहीं है कोई नहीं कर सकता
Not everyone else can do this. Only Ekadashi Devi
भगवान ने शक्ति दी
can do this. Only
आज
Bhagavan
से
can give this Shakti.
अर्थात
Therefore,
चार
from
महीना
now, Chaturmasya has begun. 4 months, one has promised to Ekadashi Devi that, oh, I haven't done anything in Satyug, Treta, Dwapar, or even Kali.
चार युग बीत गया
Now 4 yugas have passed,
और जन्म लेते रहे श्रेष्ठ प्रकार का जन्म
and I'm taking birth in different species of life.
आज
8.4 million species of life. So today, Devi, Ekadashi Devi's mercy has been had. I wish to be mukta, liberated. अगर है मुक्ति तब सर्वबंधनस्तव तवितपारे Shri Krishna पास. So let this bandhan go away. Let me be liberated. Then at least I can hope to be a servant. So Ekadashi Devi today she has appeared. She says, all right, I'll give you this opportunity. I'll make a place for Bhagwan in your heart. Now you follow this vrata. That I'll leave everything aside and offer myself, dedicate myself, surrender myself in Prabhu's seva. Like in the first month, you see Dhruva, what did he do? He used to chew on these leaves, this, that, and he left everything aside. First month of Chaturmasya, you see Shak, Patra, Fal, Mol, give up all these things. Like Shak, all these leafy things, leafy substances. So Dhruva even stopped eating leaves. Why? Because he said even these leaves will make me restless. I'll just leave this also. I won't even eat any of these leaves now. Now some people say, some devotees say, oh, Guruji said don't eat tomatoes during Chaturmasya because tomatoes are very expensive. 100 rupees per kilo, so don't eat. Now you can eat, no problem. Now you have more money, you can buy tomatoes and eat during Chaturmasya. In which Shastra has tomatoes been forbidden? In which Shastra has Shak been forbidden? And you see cauliflower, it's not Shak. You can eat all these different things. Tej patta, bay leaves. You can eat all these things during first month of Chaturmasya. Although you're not supposed to eat them, still they say you can eat it. But as long as you're not firm in your conviction, like Dhruva and Prahlad, then until then you're covered. Oh, I don't have this, I don't have that. Oh, when will Chaturmasya finish? When can I eat tomatoes? When can I eat these eggplants? Oh, eggplant is so nice. You fry them. The Russians, what do they call it? They call it topmost vegetable, king of all vegetables, they say, this begun, this eggplant. They like this eggplant so much. So whole one control one's consciousness. Therefore is it Ishvara Sarvabhutanam Hridesha Ardhanatishtathi. Saying Arjun, I am present in everyone's hearts. But Brahma Mayani Sarvabhutani Yantarudani Maya. You see, he's going in this body, mounted on this body. It's like a machine. He's just going around like a mad person, just going here and there. Like a machine, he's just wandering in the world of Maya. He cannot even stop by himself. As soon as in the morning he wakes up, goes in this karma marga. And sometimes he's just lying down on the bed. So Prabhu says, Devi, you must correct these, Ekadashi, correct these conditions also. Make them separate from these senses. And when they realize their Sarupanubhuti, we must promise ourselves, make a vow, pratigya. Mahaprabhu, he told Jagai Madai, don't commit any more sin. Promise. He said, Aranare Pap, okay, we'll never commit any more sins in our lives. But still you must empower us. Else we cannot control ourselves by our own. So Chaturmasya, Ekadashi Devi, she appears in the very beginning to help us. For 4 months. When Guru Purnima, Guru Puja is done, and pray for this Kripa Shakti from Shri Guru. And offer oneself in Bhagwan's Seva. And offer yourself completely in Bhagwan's Seva. How can you offer yourself in Bhagwan's Seva? Take mantra, take diksha, and as Shri Guru instructs one, you start. And when you start, you see, you'll get the Shakti from. And as long as you don't have this Bhakti, you don't have Shakti. So Guru Bhakti, Guru Maharaj, he gives you this mantra, he gives you this Aushadhi. And He gives you this Shakti forever. He nourishes you eternally. And He establishes you in this Aprakrit Atma Tattva. And He gives you this Adhikar for this Atmagat Seva. Only then can we be liberated. Just by being absorbed in this Bhagavatas, then what can Jadaras, Mayaras do? They cannot affect us. Then they cannot trouble us anymore. There are many such things, but we have no sambandha with any such things. Even before we had senses, even now we have senses. But they will not trouble us anymore. They will always help us now. Now they'll become very favorable. So therefore, Chaturmasya, the first day begins from now. But as long as you don't do Guru Puja, you don't follow Vyas Purnima, Guru Purnima, then how God can you do? Who is Vyas? Naranam Namaskritam, Naram Chayavam Narottam, Devim Saraswati Vyasa, Tato Yamudirai. What is Vyasadev said? Call Saraswati Devi, saying, give this Sadbuddhi, this transcendent intelligence. First they'll have Kubuddhi, that give you this mantra, give this Shastra, this desire to read the Shastra, to understand the Shastras, take shelter of the Shastras. Therefore, Narayanam Namaskrityam, Naram Chaiva Narottam, Saraswati Vyasam, Tato Jayam Udirayat. Then you can hope to transcend Maya. So Vyasa is Narayan himself. Mahaprabhu said, this is Ashari Purnima, Vyas Purnima is coming. You must worship Vyasadeva on this day. And you must hope for this, pray for this mercy. You have to achieve this Gyan. Else how can you cross Maya? We have Shastras, we have the Gita, Bhagavad, Ramayana, Vedanta, Upanishad, but you don't even open the book, you don't even offer pranams to the book. What to speak of reading even a page? You have so many Shastras. Gurudev used to say before that they distribute so many books, thousands of books, but do they even open one book and read? So they're like these donkeys. What do these donkeys do? They're taking so many sweets, sugar, this, that. They're distributing everything, but the donkey itself cannot taste any of the sugar or sweet or any fruits it's carrying. So similarly, one is this Bharvai. He has everything, but doesn't even bother to open the book and read even a page also. He doesn't have nothing, he has no sambandha with anything. But if he has the mercy of Vyasadeva, then he'll hope to have this realization. Then Savidya Tanmatirya. Then he'll realize what is Vidya, what is Avidya. Then he'll realize. Then day and night he'll relish this rasa. Known as Raso Vaisa. All the essence of all rasas is present in the Shastras. The Shastras, what can you have in this world? You go to the market, you go anywhere. Can you get something from the ghosts, from demons, from yakshas, rakshasas, even from healthy people? Can you have anything from them? Can you buy something by your own money? Never. Therefore, who will give us this intelligence towards the Shastras? Who will make us free from these anarthas? Therefore, Ekadashi Devi is very merciful, very... What does she do? She comes to make us liberated. She has said, no here, no, be silent now. Now bring Hari into your heart. Make Hari rest in your heart. Vaishnava Hriday Sada Govinda Vishnu. Vandakaya Namo Vaishnava. Position make Hari rest in your heart. Tum karo daya. Karo daya apanar boli. Tum karo daya boli. As long as the Vaishnavas say you are not mine, then if you don't realize that the Vaishnavas are mine, then who will care? Therefore, Nartamaya Karo Daya Apanara Boli. Oh, accept me as your own. bestow this mercy, or there's no other way. Therefore, we must pray to this Dev Shayana Ekadashi, that as long as Vaishnavas don't consider us to be their own, they don't give us their mercy, then how are we then? Are we conscious? We are unconscious. And we're covered like stones, not even Sankocha, not even Vikasa, not even blossoming, fully blossoming, not even covered, but not even contracted also, fully unconscious, senseless, have nothing. Who will give us this consciousness? Therefore, Swami Prabhupada said Antarashtriya Krishna Bhavanamrit Sangha. So this Krishna consciousness movement, who will give us this Chetanata? Without Guru Vaishnavas, no one can give us this consciousness. Giving us this consciousness is the meaning of following this Ekadashi. If you remember the glories, it's okay. Tomorrow morning you ask anyone, he says, oh, I don't remember anything. Did you listen to anything yesterday's Harikatha? Oh, I wasn't here in the first place. Were you sitting? Oh, I was only sitting for passing time. I was somewhere else. I was meditating on something else, on someone else. I was just sitting here to while away my time. How can you carry such transcendental things in your heart? This is sadhan. But forgetting everything, then you become so happy. Or else if you remember something you have to follow in your lives. But if you forget, then you have no chinta and free life then. But such carelessness will lead you to hell. If you don't know how to do sadhan, if you don't know how to do prarthana, don't know how to do anugatya, then you're like a living corpse. We'll stop today. Tomorrow we'll listen more. Now Guru Purnama is coming. It's not very far. Today is 29, 30, 31. Only 3 more days, 4 days left. So now we should learn how to follow Chaturmasya.